So let's talk about biochemistry. Um, there are different chemical reactions and different chemicals that go along with cell. Um, this should be a review from sixth grade. If not, we will be talking about chemical reactions and elements and the periodic table during sixth period, when it is your day. So elements and compounds. Atoms are the smallest unit of an element. Compound is two or more elements combined chemically, and molecules are the smallest unit of most compounds. So, for example, the oxygen is an element, and then from oxygen, we break it down into different compounds, which is oxygen and then two hydro elements. So most of anything that has to do with the cell has carbon, it has nitrogen, it has sulfur, it has different types of uh, doesn't doesn't have any metals, as you're going to find out, uh, but mostly gases uh, that you'll find on the periodic table could be in some way, shape, or form of shows how you exist in some form or fashion. Organic and inorganic compounds. Organic chemistry is something that if you choose to go into medical or science fields, there is actually two classes of organic chemistry you have to take, plus a lab. Um, Inorganic is one section. Um, but mostly, as you see, um, organic material is what pretty much is going to give you life. So mostly it contains carbon and hydrogen. Important groups are the organic compound are carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. which we will be talking about. Inorganic, they mostly don't contain carbon. Although carbon dioxide contains carbon, it is also classified as inorganic compound. So inorganic compounds include water, sodium chloride, or table salt. Carbohydrates pretty much gives not only us as humans, but a lot of energy to other living things. Um, it is made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Examples of carbohydrates are any type of sugars or any starches. Starches, potatoes, um, any kind of pasta, those are considered starches. Proteins are large molecules that are made of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and in some cases, sulfur. Examples are meat, fish, beans, nuts, eggs. Cells use proteins for many different things. For instance, proteins from parts of cell membranes. Proteins are also make up many of the organisms within the cell. Contains cells in your body use proteins to build body parts such as hair. And what I forgot to mention about carbohydrates, um, plants use it as energy just like we do, especially the sugar part. Uh, Amino acids. Protein molecules are made up of smaller molecules. So this, although there are only 20 common amino acids, cells can combine them in different ways to form thousands of different proteins. The kind of amino acids and the order in which they link together determine the type of protein that forms. You think that of the 20 as being like the 26 letters of the alphabet. Those 26 letters form thousands of words. The letters you use and the order depend on the words that are formed. Even a change in one letter, for example, rice to mice, creates a word similar and changes the type or order of the amino acid results in different proteins. Enzymes are a type of protein that speeds up a chemical reaction. So saliva helps break down the food. That acid in your stomach is an enzyme. I want to say the enzyme, I think the fluid and some of the stuff in your small intestines that helps break down stuff is also enzymes. Nucleic acids. So they transfer genetic material and synthesis of proteins by a process known as trans translucence and transcribance. So definition, well, examples of nucleic acid is DNA, di deoxyribonucleic acid, or RNA, ribonucleic acid. And nucleic acids are created from large molecules made up of carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, and other forms of different gases. So DNA is the one that is your genetic material, and it carries the information of the organisms that are passed on from parent to offspring, meaning what your DNA comes from is half your parents. So one from your mom, one from your dad. Uh, and the information in the DNA also directs all the cell functions that most of the DNA in your cell is found in your chromatid in the nucleus. Um, RNA plays the most important role in production of proteins, and it is found in the cytoplasm as well in the nucleus. So I have made it under 25 minutes. You got 3.5 minutes to finish copying this. You need to either finish your plant and animal cell or you need to start it. If you do not get them done, they are due by Friday. So if there's extra class time this week, then you could pull it out and work on it during class, or you can take it home, get it done, and turn it on again. The faster you turn it in, both of them, the quicker you can get it done and over with. Make sure you also use the posters in the back of the room. I don't know how many times I have to say it. If you need to figure out how to label the mitochondria, the different other parts of the cell, they're on the poster, literally on the poster. Um, Also, if you were taking notes, make sure that you don't have to write all, but write some brief description of that. So, like, the nucleus holds is pretty much, holds all your information, like your DNA. The mitochondria is the powerhouse. It gives the energy to the cell. Um, Stuff like that. Make sure you follow directions where it says glue here. Put the glue there. Don't put it anywhere else. Don't put it around it. Put the glue where it says put it there. And also your shapes of the different parts of the cell match up like a puzzle. So don't make this more difficult. Make sure you put the tops on the glue stick. Make sure you turn them down so that my glue sticks don't dry out. Make sure my scissors go back to where they're supposed to be. And also put the crayons up and make sure there's no trash or anything around your table or also in your table.